baby, boom, rise and shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your host with the most, is Mark Hussein, and every morning I get up and I am blessed to be alive. And this is the world famous patio, mom's patio, where all the lives go and everything I do from the show has been born here. Weed for Vegas magazine, showing it off. My mom's got the whole thing tribute to the 420 for 702 before it became Weed for Vegas magazine. It all started here. And what also started here was the morning marijuana motivation, doing it live here on this patio. They chose the footage for me so they could do Good Morning America. Me smoking weed on Good Morning America is shocking. And now I'm doing the Summer Weed Festival by myself. No money, just heart. Welcome to the morning marijuana motivation. Bing! Somebody cue the intro. Wow, what a show, man. I feel pumped up this morning. I've been up early, getting it how I live. Got my Saints brand shirts going. You know, I don't think you see it. Let's see. Let me see. Let's see. Align for you. All alignment. Yes, bless. There we go. See the Saints brand logo. See the guy halo on the cross. The Saint. The Saint. I don't know if you can see it. Look at that. Look at that, Mr. Small Car, loud noise. Let's get into it, shall we? Bless up. This is about stress management and managing your stress. And we're going to talk about it this morning because this is the thing that keeps us unhappy. And it's the thing that we got to battle the most. So let's do some damage. And some healing. Let's go get our healing on because this is going to alleviate a lot of stress for a lot of people. I've been studying it, what makes people react the way that they do. Why do we argue? How come our responses come out the way that we do? And excuse my burps every morning. Bless up. So where we are inside of our heads, and we tend to not know where we are in our heads. We live in this world assuming like no one's in the restaurant with us, right? We're slurping, we're not using forks. It's almost like just eating spaghetti with our hands. That's what kind of civility that we keep our emotions on, right? It's not very polished. It's usually from the hip, real quick. It's not a long, drawn out aim like I breathed and thought about what I was going to say, and then I squeezed the trigger and I made my shot. No, usually it's pew pew, and you hit random fucking strangers with spray bullets. It's like this is how we've been acting, completely uncivilized, and that's why we have to have this conversation this morning because a civilized mind doesn't react that way. A civilized mind catches itself. I told them the halt system. Am I hungry? Am I angry? Am I lonely? Or am I tired? Halt myself to see before I start reacting and doing things a certain way and letting my emotions trick me into further distress. And that's something that we have to talk about because 90% of it's all emotions, right? And then now we live in that igloo of emotions and we don't see anyone else, like I said, in the restaurant. It's just us. And us on front of our phones keeps us myopic, so we don't see the whole world of 360 completely surrounded. Even down here in Las Vegas, they have this complete big LED screen immersing people into their seed, right? They're immersing people inside of their show so you can feel the whole 3D effect. Well, that's what real life is, right? The whole 3D effect. You can feel the sun, the air, the endless sky. It's one big 3D dome that we live in. And the show is realistic, right? You feel rain, you feel mist. I've been on a 3D show before in China where the thing was moving and the screen and the mist. It was like trying to make you feel like you're really in life. Well, life is the best game going. You don't have to feel or get in, strap in. You're going to have to strap in, but there's no you don't have to wait in line and put on a seatbelt for this ride. You just wake up. And when you wake up, your thoughts are constants. There's a constant way of stimulating our brains and sending messages and making my arms move and my mouth move and my thoughts move. And that's where we get into that where our thoughts move, right? Well, that the energy we put between our thoughts and our energy inside of our minds And that's where the stress comes from. We'll go inside of our heads and look for things that lack. What don't I have? Well, I don't have enough money. Let me go fix that. Well, I don't have enough food. Let me go fix that. Well, I need money to go get the food. Now I'm on a cycle of things that just need to be fixed. I'm a firefighter. I got to put on my straps and start putting each fire out. Most people operate under that conditions. Complete emergency. Don't even wake up properly. Slide down the pole and start fighting fires. And I know there's a lot of people that are like that, so you know what I'm talking about. It's like the bat pole. You go from being a sentient being, somebody that's relaxed and woke up in the morning, to slide down the bat pole. Now you're fighting crime. And that's something that we all do, right? We want to pop into our own ego. We're back into our suit, our logos on, and we go to start fighting crime. And unfortunately, the crime that we got to fight is the stress in our mind, right? Like that's the evil that's out there, right? And we don't have jokers. That's all on a movie. There's a bunch of jokers out there, but that's how we interact with them. So if you're going to be a crime fighter, if you're going to be Batman, Superman, Superwoman out there, you're going to have a super mind and a super intellect for how your mind works. And this is something I've been drastically trying to grasp myself, because I'm human too. But the mind is such a tricky little place that wants to magnetize. We're talking about that all week. And we tend to catastrophize and bring those weird things, those negative things to us, because we don't want them to happen, but we kind of are secretly wishing them to happen. Please don't make this happen. Please don't make this happen. Hear me now. Someone said that before. They were like, who do you want to be in love with? And you got this list of people that you can be in love with, and that way you can say not what you don't want, because that's another magnet, but what you do want. So I don't. He's got to be 6 foot tall, and I don't want him to have. He's got to be a doctor, and it's like that's like way off point from what you really want in life, right? And that's not what you're saying. You don't want the requirements of things in a calculated fashion, like I gotta lose 20 pounds to be happy. It's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the decision to actually be a healthy person and start working out. That's a huge decision for the style of your life. The new habits that we put between our brain is like, this is what's going to make me happy, versus these old scenarios that I was working on. And then now you're combating your stress. Now you're actually actively doing something for your stress instead of stressing over it, which we've been talking about this last week. Stressing's not going to change the outcome. What does change the outcome is physiological changes, like one, thinking of something that you're grateful for and start manifesting something positive. And what are we going to build? And two, our breathing exercises, right? As I smoke my weed, where'd my lighter go? In my pocket, that we can do breathing exercises to take control over our physiological bodies and stop living in our brains and inside this igloo with person of one, occupancy of one person, and start living in the bigger igloo that is the world, that this huge open space with endless skies and space, right? These are the switches in our brain where we don't live inside of the stress, right? We live outside of the stress and see that there's so many things going on, that's just one thing of stimulus that we can decide to stop focusing on and start going over here and start growing the things. So these things tend to take up our time, our mood, our energy, our emotions. Our energy, I said that already, but it just takes up so much energy, where that energy could be transferred over here and start building something. Create your own production lab, your own little Tesla gigafactory of things that you do want to work. New ideas, new motions, new energy, so that way you can keep moving forward versus sitting here stressing over the stress. And I know a lot of people do that, and they just hold tight and they think that they're holding, but time keeps going by for all of us. It's not going to just stop because you want it to. It has to be something that you stop in your mind and start living outside of the stress and start living inside of the blessed. And that's your morning marijuana motivation. Your boy Marky saying, own Saints brand. We got to be blessed, not stressed. We got to remember all the things that we do have, get our calculated mind off of calculating the missing things and the firefighting things, and start getting on the grateful things and the things that you already have, and do something with those things. Make those things creative, make those things work for you, and outshine all of that darkness, right? That's why we call it Saints Addiction. You got to outshine that darkness and find a way to put the energy where it can be used best. And that's this morning's marijuana motivation. So if you use your energy best, you're less stressed, and then you're more blessed. And that's your morning marijuana motivation. On my heart from the stars, your boy Marky Saints Addiction. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. Peace. Ciao. Beijos. See you